Good morning to all. So last class we have seen that gate level logic. So there we have discussed so many logic devices or logics we are going to be we are designed by using CMOS logic and NMOS logic and by CMOS logics, and various logic gates are also implemented by using those reference circuits. So that those are nothing but inverter circuits, NMOS, CMOS, and by CMOS, and which one is going to be best for subsystem design, and what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages for every case, and to change the ratios, what are the parameters are going to be affected. Those parameters are nothing but area and power dissipation. All those things are discussed in previous class. Today I'm going to discuss about other forms of CMOS logic, right? So here, these are the points I am going to discuss here. That is pseudo NMOS logic, dynamic CMOS logic, and CMOS domino logic. Okay. So these are the contents here I am going to discuss today's class. So you know that basically we need a PMOS transistor and NMOS transistor for the implementation of CMOS logic. So based on that logic here, I'm going to design these are the logic circuits, and also discuss the what are the advantages and what are the problems here in each and every concept, and how those problems are going to be overcome, to consider another techniques. All those things we are going to be discussed now. The first one, it is P pseudo NMOS logic or pseudo NMOS logic. Okay, so here let us see. This is you know that it is a CMOS logic and a P pseudo NMOS logic. Here it is. Okay, you know that generally the NMOS inverter consisting of two devices. One is a depletion mode device, other one is enhancement mode device, right? But coming to here, this is the pseudo NMOS logic NAND gate, 3-input NAND gate. So here let us see in this area nothing but a depletion mode area. So here I want to change that depletion mode by using one device here, nothing but it is a PMOS transistor. Why? Because this PMOS transistor here I am going to change because of the ratio problem. The length into width ratio problem here I want to change. Instead of depletion mode device, I want to replace with the PMOS transistor as act as a pull-up device, and the gate of this pull-up transistor is connected to the VSS. Okay, and similarly, you know that this is the series of connection here. That is nothing but NAND gate here. It is a 3-input NAND gate. So I want to represent for 3 inputs we need 3 transistors. Those 3 devices are connected in series pattern, and here I want to say it is a N block, right? N number of transistors, so it is called as N block. Okay, and coming to the here, each and every point I am going to explain you here. So here, if we replace the depletion mode pull-up transistor of the standard NMOS circuit here with a PMOS transistor, right? With the gate is connected to VSS. Okay, so this is the case here. The first point here, it is nothing but a PMOS transistor is replaced here instead of NMOS, the standard circuit here, that is depletion. Instead of depletion mode device, and replace with the PMOS transistor act as a pull-up device. And the second point, nothing but here this approach to logic design is illustrated by the 3-input NAND gate, right? This approach, let us see here in this approach, it is having 3 inputs: input A, input B, and input C. These are connected in series notation. It is called as block, one block, nothing but it is called as N block, N number of devices. Here N equal to 3, right? And the third point here, it is the circuit arrangements behave much like NMOS circuits, and appropriate ratio rules must be applied. So here also I want to calculate the ratio of this particular pseudo NMOS logic, right? Here also I am going to determine the pull up to pull down ratio also, right? And the fourth point here, it is to determine the required ratio, we consider the arrangement which is a pseudo NMOS inverter is being driven by another similar inverter, right? So I want to calculate the ratio, that is pull up to pull down ratio. I want to connect these pseudo NMOS logic as a cascaded form. So means those are so the first second part, the second device is driven by the first choice. Okay, first device, because of the first device output is going to be connected as the input of the second case. So that is nothing but here driven by the another similar inverter, right? So this is the driven by the another similar inverter here, right? So the pseudo NMOS as an inverter is being driven by another similar inverter. Another similar inverter means another pseudo NMOS logic gate. Okay, and the last point here, it is an identical inputs, an identical input response here, that is the input voltage. We consider the condition for which V input is VDD by 2. You know that the identical inputs means, suppose here I want to take that is a signal here. So for identical inputs for both cases, so here that is V input, that is here at this point here. So V inverse equal to VDD by 2, right? VDD by 2. Okay, so this is the identical input response. So here it is a y-axis, it is nothing but V out, and on x-axis it is nothing but V input. Okay, so initially it is 0, and it is going to get output is maximum VDD. Okay, it is VDD. Here one part of only the partial part of the device is going to be on here. So whenever it is going to be increases, the input response is going to increases, then VDD is going to be slowly discharges to like this, down all this like this. At certain point, the two inverters are going to be having equal values, equal properties, having equal property, nothing but V inverters equal to VDD by 2, right? So that is the point here. An identical input voltage, we consider the conditions for which is V input equal to VDD by 2, right? So now I can apply here V inverse equal to VDD by 2 by using the cascading similar inverter. So this is the form of cascading pseudo NMOS inverter with a driven from a similar inverter, right? So here I am going to apply here V input, right? So here we input the output of this first system is given to the input of the second device, and here the gate of this pull-up device connected to here VSS. Okay, so at this point, let us see, at this point the device, nothing but N device is in saturation mode. So here I am going to apply V input as equal to VDD by 2 at NMOS device. So then this device is going to be saturation mode, and the P device, that is operating in resistive region, right? It is the resistive region, right? Resistive region like this. Okay, so for that here equating the currents level, equating the current response, I want to calculate the equal that is a current response of particular inverters here. You know that I1 R1 equal to I2 R2 like that. Okay, so here it is going to be resistive region, there is a source, current source, and it is saturation region. There is also, because of here VDD to VSS, there is a path here, then the current flows from VDD to VSS like that. So I want to equate the currents. So the second point here is equating the currents of the N transistor and the P transistor, right? Because of here I am applying V input is VDD by 2, right? So here input is VDD by 2, then those two devices are actually having a identical input response. So equating the currents of the P channel and N channel device. So, and a suitable arrangement, the resultant here expression, right? So we obtain here by equating the currents of these P channel and N channel device, we are getting finally for the simple after simplified version, we get here, this is the formation. V inverse equal to VTN plus 2 mu P by mu N to the power of 1 by 2 of minus VDD minus VTN into VDSP minus V square DSP whole to the power of 1 by 2 by Z pull up by pull down to the power of 1 by 2. Here I want to calculate, I want to focusing on this this part. Okay, so all I told you here, I want to calculate ratio, that is Z pull up to pull down ratio, right? So here you know that Z pull up nothing but LP by WP. So here the Z pull up means here, so L pull up, okay, L pull up by W pull up ratio, L is to W ratio. So here LD, nothing that is N channel. n channel by n l length into width ratio for enhancement mode device. It is nothing but n channel device length into width ratio for pull down device, right? So whereas Z pull up equal to LP by WP and Z pull down equal to LN by WN, right? So I want to assume some values here, that is V inverse equal to 0.5 VDD and VTN equal to, that is VTP equal to 0.2 VDD and VDD equal to 5 volts and Vn is a mu n is nothing but mobility of the electrons here, that is 2.5 product of with the product of mobility of holes here, because of you know that the mobility of the charge carriers is 2.5 times greater than the mobility of the holes here, you know that. Okay, so for assuming these values, I want to replace these values in this equation, then only we are getting the value here, Z pull up by Z pull down equal to 3 by 1, right? Already know that by increasing the area of the by changing the ratios here, there may be changing area also. When we are going to be changing the dimension, that is geometric value, that is nothing but length into width ratios, then automatically the area of the device also going to be changes. So then one more parameter is affected, nothing but power distribution, right? And let us see here, in previous case we have seen that that is 4:1 and 8:1 like that, and 16:1 like that. Okay, so where there we have calculated length to width ratio and power distribution factor, all those things there we had calculated that. Okay, but now here you want to now we are going to see here the new ratio here, that is Z pull up by pull down ratio, that is 3 by 1, nothing but 3:1. Okay, so here this ratio nothing but here that is 3:1. Okay, this is the pull up to pull down ratio here, 3:1, here 1:1. Okay, here 1:1. Okay, here 3:1, right? So based on that, I want to conclude here the 2 points here. Since the channel seat resistance of the pull up is 2.5, so here the pull up device is the pull-up device is P channel, but actually we know that the pull-up device is NMOS inverter is depletion mode, it is N channel. But instead of N channel, we are going to replace here with the P channel device. So you know that the resistance of the P channel device is 2.5 times that of N channel is, that is pull down, right? And allowing the ratio that is 3:1. So the pseudo NMOS inverter presents a resistance between VDD and VSS, which is say 85 kilo ohms. You know that actually the resistance is nothing but it is that is 2.5. RS is 2.5 per P channel, and here the ratio is 3 here. Okay, you know the value Z pull down Z pull up equal 3 into RS. So RS is nothing but 3 into 2.5 into 10 to the power of 4 kilo ohms, right? So totally here Z pull up equal to that is 3 into RS, right? On resistance, that is 3 into here 2.5 into 10 to the power of 4 ohms. Okay, so finally I want to get here, it is that is 75 kilo ohms. 75 kilo ohms, that is for pull up device. And similarly at pull down device ratio, that is nothing but that is on resistance for a pull down device, nothing but that is ratio here, it is 1:1, right? So here it is 1:1 ratio, right? So Z pull down equal to 1 into RS here. Okay, you know that RS it is nothing but N channel, so that is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 4 ohms. So finally it is nothing but 10 kilo ohms. 10 kilo ohms. So here 75 plus 10, nothing but it is totally it is 85 kilo ohms, right? So here, so this is the point here, the VDD to the resistance. The inverter presents a resistance between VDD and VSS, which is say 85 kilo ohms compared with the CMOS, that is 50 kilo ohms for a comparable 4:1 NMOS inverter, right? So thus power dissipation is reduced here about 60%, of that associated comparable with the NMOS device, NMOS inverter device. So here the power dissipation is going to be decreases, right? And one more thing here, one more point here, it is the higher pull-up resistance, the inverter pair delay is larger. So higher inverter pull-up resistance here, higher pull-up resistance, the inverter pair delay is larger by a factor of 8.5 is to 5 than the 4 is to 1 minimum size of NMOS inverter. Okay, so this is about the pseudo NMOS logic, right? Here, next one is nothing but dynamic CMOS logic, right? So this is the another I want to again I want to take here. It is pseudo NMOS logic. Here I want to consider this is one more device I want to replace here. Nothing but it is a pull-up device, or more enhancement more device is connected here. And commonly here I want to take with a one clock signal, right? It is the one clock signal. Okay, so let us go through this point here in order to overcome pull up to pull down ratio, right? So what we have affected, what we have done, what we have the disadvantage, that is drawback in pseudo NMOS logic, that is a ratio problem. To overcome that problem here I want to go with another design, that is nothing but dynamic CMOS logic, right? So in order to overcome the pull up to pull down ratio, we can go with another logic that is called as the dynamic logic, right? And the second point is here the pull up and pull down both are driven by a clock signal, right? So here nothing but it is a pull up device, it is a pull down device, both are driven by a clock signal here denoted as a phi, right? Phi. Okay, so here we are observing one pre-charge and other one is the one evaluation phase. So this is here the pull-up device is called, here it is the pre-charge and it is not in the but evaluating phase. I want to explain in a later, that is how it is going to be pre-charge, how it is going to be evaluation phase, that is based on these pull-up and pull-down devices, right? And one more thing here I want to observe here here I observing here, that is the two problems here. One is the charge sharing problem, right? And the second one is the nothing but cascaded problem. Okay, so it cannot be cascaded. If it is cascaded, how the problem is going to be occur? Okay, and how this charge sharing problem is occur in this case. I want to give the detailed information about these two problems in this case, right? So here first problem is dynamic CMOS logic. It is how it is going to be that is charge sharing problem. Here the charge sharing problem is also called as leakage problem or floating problem. How it is going to be done in this case, leakage problem or a floating problem, right? So just I want to change this circuit diagram like this for a easily understanding case. I want to just change this type of diagram in this way, right? So here this is the pre-charge case. Pre-charge means here if the clock signal is 0, so the clock signal is 0 here, so it is the pull-up device is always in on condition. But at every time, at every case where clock signal is 0, at every case the P channel device, that is pull-up device, is going to be charge, right? Charge means here that is nothing but here I want to take one is a capacitor like this. Okay, so here I want to make a one capacitor connection here, so it is going to be charged because of here there is a connection like this. Okay, so this transistor is act as here a closed switch here, it is act as a closed switch here, and this one is called it as a open switch, right? So that's why here the charge is going, the capacitor is going to be charged, the capacitor is going to be charged, that is towards VDD through this enhanced pull-up device, that is P channel device. So this is a pre-charge, right? Okay, pre-charge without applying any here, without applying nothing but it is zero clock signal, clock is 0 here, so it is charge, right? Pre-charge, that nothing but pre-charge. And next one is evaluation phase. So here clock is 0, here clock is 0 and V input is 1, V input is 1. Okay, here clock is 0, V input is 1 here. In this case here again here it is going to be charge case. Okay, suppose here I want to this V input is 1, this is this N block is going to be act as a short circuit here, right? It is going to be short circuited here, and it is also it is going to be short circuited because of here input is 0, so then it is again it is going to be pre-charge. Okay, suppose here I want to apply logic 1 here, it is going to be suppose here phi is going to be 1 here. Okay, 1 here. Then so this PMOS transistor is going to be act as a open circuit. It is act as a closed circuit, and enhancement mode device act as a closed circuit. So then whatever the data is available across this load capacitance, that is going to be discharges to ground. Discharges to ground. So finally we are getting output response is 0 volts here, right? So here evaluating phase means here nothing but when input is 0 volts, we input is 0 volts here, that is evaluating the output response at the output case, right? Whenever we are applying clock signal is 1. And here how the leakage problem is going to be occur. Let us come to here in this third case here. So here let us see the logic, the clock signal is going to be applied logic 1 here, and here V input is 0. So when we are going to be applied V input is 0 here, logic 0 here, the leakage problem is occur across this particular circuit diagram. How the leakage problem is occur across this particular diagram, I want to explain here. So here the clock signal is 1. So then here clock signal is 1, nothing but here previously here suppose it is clock is 0 here, so it is going to be pre-charged. The capacitor here nothing but it is here it is going to be charged because of through this device. Okay, through this case it is going to be charged. Suppose I want to apply the clock signal is 1 here, so the clock signal is going to be 1 here. So then the PMOS is going to be in open circuit, and here V input is a 0 here, and here the enhancement mode device is going to be acting as a closed circuit. So then here the output response is we are getting it is a 5 volts. Previous it is going to be it is pre-charge voltage across the output response, but here but actually we are getting output response here, it is the like it is a 4.4 volts like that. Okay, how this leakage problem will occur across this particular device? Because of here V input is logic 0. So then simply I want to connect this input response at grounded, right? Ground connection. So here there is some leakage problem, some amount of voltage going to be connected across this ground here, that is nothing but 0.8 volts is dropped down here because of there is a this gate is shorted to the ground. So when this gate connection is shorted to ground, this much of voltage is going to be dropped down here. So the output response is going to be decreases from 5 volts to 4 volts. So this is the leakage problem is occurs across this particular dynamic CMOS logic. Okay. Next, and next one is cascading problem. So here the dynamic CMOS logic going to be next problem. I already told you in a previous class. This is the charge sharing problem is over. Next one is the cascading problem. So when we are going to be connected in cascading from what will happen? So based on that concept, he says that it is cannot be cascaded, right? Let us see here. Just I want to change for easily understand to his concept here. This circuit diagram is going to be this circuit diagram is going to be changes for easily understanding. Okay, so this is the way here. So this is the cascading connection here. Okay, simply just in previous case this clocks, this is gate input, and this gate input is going to be taken as a common input like that here. Okay, so this like this. So but here I want to separate these two. But even I am going to be apply clock signal is 1, then apply 1 here also and here also. Both cases the gate of P channel is also 1, and the gate of enhancement mode device also 1. Okay, and here those similar inverters are going to be cascading from. So how it is going to be, the cascading problem is going to be when we are going to be connected in cascading from, what is the problem here going to be discussed here. So let us see here the first case here. So it is going to, in previous case, that initially it is pre-charge. Okay, initially it is pre-charge. But here, when we are going to apply the clock signal is 1 here, the clock is 1. Okay, it is going to be open circuit. So already the A and B are is in one applied 1 here. So it is going to be act as short circuit. It is going to be act as short circuit. It is going to be act as a short circuit. But here, previously it is output response is 1 here. This output response changes to 0. Okay, because of this A, B, and enhancement mode device going to be connected as input as given as the logic 1. So then the output is here the 1 it changes to logic 1 changes to logic 0. But there is some problem here that is having here. Okay, I want to discuss that one also. So here the one logic one changes to logic zero. The logic zero is applied here. Okay, logic zero is applied here, but pre-charge is getting here. It is one here. Okay, here it is zero. It is going to act as an open circuit. When here it is act as a closed circuit. So there is no path here. Obviously, we are getting output response is one here. Okay, so how the cascading problem is occur here, let us see in this diagram, right? So in pre-charge case, I told you here the pre-charge case, it is going to be output response is one here. So in pre-charge case, that is zero clocks. If the clock signal is zero here, so then the output response is like this, one. The output response is one. And the second case here, the clock signal is applied is one here. So then this transistor is going to be on condition, and B transistor is going to be on condition, and enhancement mode transistor is going to be on condition. Okay, because of this cascading, because of this series of connection here, there may be some amount of delay will occur to change that logic 1 to logic 0. Okay, here in this way. In this way, it is going to be changes. Slowly, it is going to be changes. Okay, but let us see here. So up to this point, middle of that signal here, so the output response may be discharges. Somewhat it going to be affected, right? So how it is going to be affected? So here the logic one is changes. The logic one is going to be changed from logic 1 to logic 0. It was taken some amount of time like this. So here I am showing here yellow wave here, that is a one formation of wave here. Let us see, that is slowly discharges. The logic 1 here, the logic 1 is slowly discharges to logic 0 here. Okay, so logic 1 is slowly discharged, so it is taking certain amount of time because of this series of connection, right? So at middle of this point, so in this case, this duration of the time, the output response here, the output response is going to be discharges. Why? Because it is in closed switch. C is already given as 1 here, pi is 1 here, so it is also in closed condition. So then such an amount of output response is going to be discharges here. Okay, certain amount of output response is going to be discharges. So when it changes to logic 1 to complete 0, then we are getting some amount of response, but previously some amount of voltage is going to be dropped down. So finally we are getting here the output response is 4.2. Okay, so this is the problem when we are going to be connected in a cascading from. How this problem is going to be overcome by using what are the techniques we are needed, what are the techniques we are going to be follow to overcome such a type of cascading problem we are going to be discuss now. Okay, so these are the two problems here. One is the charge sharing problem, that is nothing but here I am going to discuss. It is a leakage problem, a floating problem, and second one is the, so when those two inverters are going to be connected as a cascading problem, so how the when those devices are going to be connected in cascading problem, so what is the effect of, is there any effect of output response we are observed here. Okay, so obviously here by applying, when we are going to be connected a cascading from, we are observing here the output response is going to be affected, right? So for this drawback, I want to go with another technique, that is nothing but CMOS domino logic. Okay, so simply here, what is the time taken process here? Just simply I need to change this logic diagram like so, this way. Okay, logic 1 to logic 0 like this, but here, so the yellow formation is seen like this. It is going to be like so, this way. This is some amount of time it was taken to change logic 0 to logic 1 to logic 0. So this problem is going to be overcome by using some inverter circuit. Some inverter logic is connected at the output of the first case like this. Okay, so here I am going to make inverter symbol here at the output of the first case, right? And similar again, I want to actually in this concept, he is explain about the only by using single CMOS domino logic circuit, but I'm going to take one more circuit diagram, that is similar CMOS domino logic, how that floating problem, that is leakage problem, or sorry, that is a cascading problem is going to be overcome by using CMOS domino logic, right? So again, I want to take one more CMOS logic here. So here I am going to apply, it is going to be logic 0. It is already pre-charged. nothing but it is 1. So when in second case I'm going to apply it is 1, so then it is going to be on condition. It is going here, the n block is also given as the input is 1 case here, so both are going to be on condition simply. So this logic 1 is going to be changes here. It is input of the inverter is 0, then simply it is converting that, inverting the response as 1, right? So this input is given to the input of this particular n block here, right, in this way. So here the applied input is 1, the phase is here, it is a pre-charge is 1, pre-charge is 1 here, okay, here pre-charge is 1, okay, like here also the pre-charge is 1 here. So here after applying a second clock signal, that is the clock is 1, input is 1 here, the output response, that is pre-charge response, going to be discharges, pre-charge response is going to be discharged here. So input of inverter is 0, so that inverter is inverted here, it has 1, so this one is applied at n block signal here. So again here in second case, whatever here I am going to apply here 1, the 1 is also applied here. So then this transistor is going to be open circuit, this is going to be closed circuit. Here I am going to apply n block is 1 here, so it is also going to be closed circuit. So then here whatever the data here it is available at this output response, that will be discharges here, okay. So finally we are having the response at the input, it is 0, so it is going to be output as logic 1. So one thing you can observe here, I am going to apply it here 1, input is 1, we are getting final output response is also 1. So simply nothing but here it is acting as a non-inverting buffer. Okay. So what are the problems we are facing in previous technique, that is leakage problem and cascading problem and ratio problem? Those all are overcome by using here the to improve version of from ratio problem to dynamic, that is a dynamic CMOS logic. There are also we are having two problems, sharing problem and that is a cascading problem. And to overcome those two problems, we are going with this domino logic problem. So here that sharing problem is overcome, that is that leakage problem, and nothing but that cascading problem is also overcome here by using this case. Okay, if you want to change the input response, there is no effect at the there is no effect occurs at the output of this voltage here, because of here I am going to connect it with the inverter, right? Let us see the points here, and an extension to the dynamic CMOS logic discussed earlier, right? Dynamic CMOS logic is discussed earlier. So here this is the modified arrangement allows for the cascading of logic structures used in only a single phase clock. This requires a static CMOS buffer in each logic gate. Okay, so here only the one thing is happening here, it is going to be performing it as non-inverting output response. Okay. Okay, what are the problems we are facing in previous case? Those problems are overcome, but here one more thing is happening, so that is nothing but it is just performing as a non-inverting operation. Only one thing it is going to be performing, it is act as a non-inverting response, nothing but simply it is called as a buffer, right? So how it is going to be overcome? Let us detail case here, as what I told you here, that is going to be in detail version here. It is previously it is going to be pre-charge, and now I am going to apply it here. It is a clock as 1 and clock is 1 here. Then it is going to be off condition. Okay, it is going to be act as on condition. It is going to be act as on condition. It is going to be act as on condition. So here input of this inverter is going to be act as a input is 0, like it is. Okay, so it is simply converting whatever we are facing the problem, that is a delay problem here, like this. It was changes to like this. Okay, so here 0 to 1, here it is 1, here sorry, here it is 0 is here, logic 0 is going to be applied here, that will be applied 0 to 1 easily, just within a fraction of time it is going to be changes 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, like that. So based on this inverter concept, it is going to be easily perform the output response. There is no effect at the output response by using this output of output by connecting the output at the inverter circuit, that is nothing but by using the inverter gate. Okay, so here let us see that this point here, the such logic structures can have a smaller areas than conventional CMOS logic, right? So whereas we are going with such a type of circuit here, so it is having a very less area compared to this conventional what we have done in previous classes. So one of the problem is going to be overcome here, And second thing is here, one more thing is that is parasitic capacitors are smaller. You know that parasitic capacitors are nothing but interlayer capacitors like that. Okay, that is also very small here. So the higher operating speed is going to be possible here. And one more thing is only I want to actually I told here that is non-inverting structure or is possible because of the presence of inverting buffer. Because of this inverter, that non-inverting problem is going to be non-inverting is going to be occur across this particular that is in this case that is domino logic circuit. So this is nothing but non-inverting structures. Okay, thank you. So this is about all our other forms of CMOS logic, that is nothing but pseudo NMOS logic, and nothing but how the problems are going to be occur at that pseudo NMOS logic. Those are nothing but ratio problems. To overcome the ratio problem, we go with one more case, that is nothing but CMOS logic, dynamic CMOS logic. But there are also we are observing 2.2 problems there. That is one is that is the charge sharing problem, another one is cascading problem. How those two problems are going to be overcome, what are the techniques we are going to be follow, what are the methods are going to be follow. So for the overcome of those two problems, we go with another case, that is nothing but domino CMOS logic, right? So there we are, what we are facing the problem, those two problems are going to be overcome by using domino CMOS logic. So this is the information about for this our other forms of CMOS logic. Thank you.